Good morning, girls. Ready for your hay? Good morning. It is a nice, bright and sunny morning here on the homestead. Hope and Daisy are doing good. They actually love it, just being the two of them. They were the two goats that were like the lowest on the totem pole, so they were always getting picked on. So they're enjoying life. I need to finish getting all of the other animals fed. We just got done milking Azalea. We've been getting about 2.5 gallons a day of milk off of her with one milking and calf shearing. So we are pumped about that. That's more than enough milk for our needs. And then we're gonna be going over there and hopefully getting the forms finished up today. And then we can start on getting it all leveled off. And we'll show you how exactly we gotta build up and continue building our platform or our base before we put our concrete down. We don't want to just leave it flat. We have another step we need to do. But first we get the forms done, and I need to finish getting all the chores done. So let me go take care of them. They just finished up with the rough grading of all of the dirt down here. This area we gotta do a little bit more, but we gotta let it dry out in some spots. So
I don't know why it would be wet.
I don't know why it'd be wet either. So they're done down here until it dries out more, and we can continue on forming this all up. Then we gotta get the sand in here and finalize that. But it is looking good. We have the sun out, and the sun is in the forecast for quite a few more days now. I'm not sure when we're gonna get the next rain, but I'm hoping we don't get any for a while, and that this area can dry out and we can finish grading everything off. And when we get a free second, I wanna get this area up here dragged, raked and seeded, and get grass growing over here so it doesn't get washed out, because the quicker we can get that done, the better the ground will be for it. And that'll be a future grazing area for livestock of some kind. So,
And I just think the way everything is set up, it just kind of flows with everything. It doesn't feel like it's cut off, it just flows. You can see the different views from all different angles, and I really like how it's set up. I think it looks really good this way.
This one is square.
Yep.
So we can just continue running down and leave that, and then we'll just check and make sure we're 40 feet from end to end.
And then square that up.
And square that up. We can't really square it up until we get the front board on, and we can't do that until we get all the sand in, but we gotta try to get it close by eyeballing it.
Yep.
So that way we can get the sand in, and once we get most of it done, we can get that front on and then finish that all up.
Right, and this one is gonna be a lot easier because we won't have all the plumbing and stuff with the sand and all that.
Right, there's none of that stuff. Whoa.
What?
We got a leaping bear.
Leaping bear? Wow, it is leaping. What is it doing, you think? It's trying to, is it really
Smaller.
leaping? Or
It's
it
a
looks,
cub. Yeah, I think it's
that's
jumping.
crazy.
Phone just went off as a text message, and our Cuddy-back game cameras send us text messages when they get photos. I don't know if you can see that. Oops. Come on. We have looks like a kind of a bear cub jumping.
Pretty neat.
And then
It looks like a mama and a cub.
that one's pretty far away, but yeah. So we've been having quite a few different bears up at the pond. There's 3 big ones now. I see we have 2 big ones. They're both the same size. One of them, the next is different. And then we have a new big one out there that is taller and skinnier. So maybe that's a mother, I don't know. But it's got like long legs, and the body on it is tall. But it's not as like beefy as the other ones.
And he wonders why I want a fence around the camp when we're camping out.
They're only bears. They won't hurt you.
Well, that's all right. I don't want them to come in and visit me.
They just want to say hello. Let's get a base reading, and we'll figure out and establish our reference mark for where we want the top of this form set. Okay, so that corner is low. So that's telling me that's why this is going uphill, I bet you. I think this corner's pretty close. Yeah, that's dead on. That's a whisker high right there. So if that corner was up, it would Yeah. All right, so that's right on. Let's check that back corner. So this back corner is about 1 inch low, which is nothing. So let me get that corner brought up some, and then we'll get this front corner hopefully lower, and that should kind of get a good establishment going.
So now you gotta shovel it?
No, I'm not shoveling it. All right, I'm gonna pick this up. If you can slide that board under that corner.
Still?
No, right there within 1/4 of an inch. All right, we're gonna leave it like that for now. That's why we have the sand, is to touch up any low spots like that. All right, last side section. Then we'll have to figure out how we are going this way.
Then we're ready for concrete.
That'd be nice. Still quite a few more steps before concrete, unfortunately.
If we don't use all that sand, we can probably make sand castles.
All right.
Can we lift it up?
Pick yours up a little bit.
Up over that side.
All right, so just eyeballing this actually looks really straight. So I'm not gonna put any stakes in the ground, but let's get a measurement from this end to that end, and we'll see how we are 40 feet wise. And then we're gonna have to go around and set our transit to the height of that corner for the top of the form, and then just get everything the same level. And then we can get this all evened off inside, and then we can do the front after. So 40 feet is right here. So we got to come in a little bit. I'd much rather have to come in than go out the way we're sitting on the gravel pad. So that makes me feel better. And it's most likely this side. If you look down here, this side is all wonky. Let's set this and get our line. All right, so this is the height that we need to get the rest of the top of our forms to. So we got to get this whole back one set, and then we'll go up the sides halfway. Then we'll start bringing sand in and level everything off. Like we'll fill this little bit of a hole, and we'll get that all nice, like 3/4 of the way forward. And then once we get that far done, we can set that front board for the rest of the forms, get it all final squared, and then get the whole thing done and ready for the next step.
That rock. You want it like under, or just like that?
I need it under.
A little
Kick it
more?
with your toe.
Okay.
All right, let's try that. It's like right there. Yeah, dead on. Just need a little stomp. That's dead on right there.
That's good.
We're gonna take out a couple of inches there. Wow. All right, let's try that out for size. Should be close now, I think. Pretty much right there. It's gonna come up a whisker. That's gonna come up in here. I'd rather have that. Down a whisker. Down. Down. All right, that is really close. Before I do any like final tweaking, I want to get sand brought in for the back, get that leveled off, because this front we got to square up still. And when we go to square it up, it might move these forms one way or the other. So there's no point in getting too fancy with getting this dug out until we know exactly where that all needs to go. So we're going to be pouring what we call an Alaskan floating slab or floating slab. So the concrete is going to be all one big slab. The inside is going to be 6 inches thick, and the outside where the footings go is going to be at least 8 inches thick, about a foot wide. So right now I'm going to go around and we're going to mark out a foot each way, and then we'll know not to add really any sand in that area except for where we're super low, like right here. This back area we're gonna have to fill a little bit, so it's not, what do we have? An extra 4 inches, so we're not gonna want it that deep. So right here is like an inch or two low. That's what I'd like to keep this whole back footing area, so that way we have about maybe 9 or 10 inches worth of concrete on the footer. We can do that here and then bump it up. Keep it the right height all the way the rest. All right, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's get that spread out and get the grade set. Get our upper body workout in today.
Well, that weren't sand.
Nope. Perfect. A little low, that's the way I want it. I like it. I thought the compactor was broken, but it just ran out of gas. I didn't think at first it was gas because I had just filled it up the other day, but I did use it quite a bit, so we gotta put some gasoline in it. There was some in it, but when these things get kind of low and you're compacting and vibrating all the time, it doesn't take much of that vibration to send the fuel off, so it can't get in. So I'm gonna put some fuel in it, and then we can finish leveling off everything. Then we can get the front on, and I am hoping that the foam that we have ordered shows up today. It's supposed to be here today. It's like I'm walking on a beach. These new contraptions for fuel tanks. That should do it. All right, we gotta be close. Right there, right there. Planned it so the front of these forms would stick over from the side, 2 feet on each edge. So that way we have something good to screw into. So we'll mark that on this one. All right, so right there. You giving it your approval there, Figaro? All right, so now we gotta run our tape measure, mark 40 feet, get that last end screwed in, and then we just gotta make sure the front is square. We know the back is good, but I'm sure the front is off. All right, we just spent like the last 15 minutes double checking everything for square, making our final adjustments. We're happy where it is. All right, so now we gotta pin the front corners, run some straight lines, make sure all of our lines are nice and straight, and then we can level it off. You wouldn't think setting these forms would take that much time, but it does, to make sure that everything is right, because if this isn't right, the whole building will be off. We gotta make sure it's square, so the building on top is square, and we gotta make sure it's level, so the building on top is level. I just went around and checked. Everything is like dead level except for this corner to that joint, and then over there we have one area that's high. Everything is like right on. So I'm gonna go ahead, drop this corner down. That should get this front, and I'll go to that high spot. And then after that, I'll put the 4-foot level because that'll fine tune it. Teeter-tottering back and forth. Perfect. If anything, it's got to go up a smidge, and that is easy to fix. I like that. I've been going around checking it now with the level, now that we have it all set to grade, making sure it is where it needs to be. We had a few little tweaks we had to make, but it is pretty good. There's one high spot right there, but I'm gonna run a string first to see. I know that's not straight. So if that's gonna come in, it's a little bit lower, and it probably will fall right where it needs to go. Don't know if you can see that, but we got it. All right, that one took a little bit of sweat equity, but we got it. Whew, a little out of breath, a little sweaty. Now we just gotta stake that one in, get that one perfect. That back one is good. Then we'll come along to the front and do the side. I'm pretty sure that was the worst side. That's why I started there. I try to like to get the worst done first. So that way I'm not like all at the end of me and then having to get the worst part done. But I definitely have to go around and shovel some of that out so the footer is deeper in some of those areas. If the excavator operator was a little bit better, we wouldn't have had to work so hard. So I'll have to talk with him about that. What do you think, Figaro? Does it pass? All right, now that we got this nice and level, I just gotta straighten it out right here. Put a stake in it at every joint. And then this side will be done. We'll get this side all nice and straight with the line all leveled off. I want to go do the same on that one. And then we will backfill some so we don't got to worry about the boards kicking out. But I want to see how many leftover metal stakes I have. Because if we have some, I will put them here and there and space them evenly. All right, these boards were super wonky, but now they're straight. They're nice and level. Just got 2 more stakes. We're gonna put this one in, then we're gonna take that one out and put it a little bit closer. All right, let's see how this side is. That's pretty close. All right, all the stakes are in the ground that we have. Might pick up a few more before we pour and just put a few more here or there. All right, we got this all leveled off, nice and straight. I am happy with that. It is a warm one. I don't know how you Southerners do it, but whew, you guys deal with it more than we do. This is where we're gonna end the video. I need to go run out and get supplies for tomorrow so we can continue working on the next part of our foundation for our workshop. Thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey. You guys are a huge blessing to us in our homestead, and we'll see you right back here in the next video. Bye.